Ramsuratkumar ki Jai. Sarvam Yogi Ramsuratkumar-Our. We shall offer our grateful pranams at the feet of our Bhagwan, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, for this great opportunity once again to be able to sing the name at all is a great blessing. To be able to sing with others, a massive singing, has a lot of power. And to sing massively in a powerful place like the shrine is a greater blessing. Hasn't our Bhagwan said, if you take one step towards me, this beggar would take 99 steps towards you. So if for every nama, every single nama that we sing, how many namas he should be putting forth. It's no small grace. So let's be grateful for this and try and relive the experiences of some devotees. Again, these episodes are all what we call ordinary, household sceneries. Yet, there is a spectrum of emotions that we go through with the devotees who lived them. So it's reliving their emotions and enjoying the grace of God with them. It's about one devotee by name Bhama from Tuticorin. She was living with her younger son in a rented house, younger son and his wife and their children in a rented house. Her elder son had bought a land, built a house and gone away. But this particular son has bought a land, but he was unable to build a house for lack of money. And therefore, they just continued in a rented house. And Bhama was very worried. She very much wanted this son also to have his own house. But then he was not applying for loan. No matter how many times she told him, he would not listen to her. So she began to chant Bhagwan's name and pray to him, Bhagwan, please give my son a good home, a new house as his own. And then the nama began to work. It started first not with the comfort, not with the benefit. Her daughter-in-law began to see snakes in the backyard. Not just one snake. She saw one first, another. Naturally, she was terrified. And she told her husband, "Look, there are many snakes in the backyard. It's not a good place for our children. I'm really very scared. Let's do something about it." Now, at her insistence, Bhama's son applied for loan. And because of the snakes, the daughter-in-law wanted to shift the house from this place to another place. But Bhama, she wanted to continue in the same place until they could go straight to the newly built house. But then her son was very insistent. But where would they go for a new house, for a rented house? They have to pay more rent, and they have to pay for building the house also. Now just see how the Nama helps. She kept chanting the name. And then suddenly, one day, when the boss of her second son came to know about their condition, he called this son. He said, "Look, you're going to build a new house, and for some reason you want to shift your house to a new rented place until the new house is built. Now I own a house which I'm not using for the moment, so you can live there rent-free." Just see what a grace, what a gift of grace. So Bhama was praying and chanting the name, and that gave this gift of grace. The boss, imagine where such things happen. Just when you need another place to live in and you don't have money and you're worried about it, your boss calls you and tells you, "Okay, I own a house, a very comfortable house. You can use it, and there's no need for you to give me the rent." Imagine their happiness. And they shifted. Now the daughter-in-law was very much relieved, because even though now she didn't have to see the snake every day and fear for her children. So they got a rent-free house, and in the meantime, from the bank, the loan also was sanctioned. Again, by the grace of the Nama. Another bonus. Now, some people, some workers came and asked Bhama's son where you had lived. There are some structures, wooden structures, and a thatched roof at the backyard. Can we use them? Can we take them? If you don't need them, can we dismantle it and then take it with us? They readily agreed. And these workers, they climbed up the roof. And to their horror, what did they see? Between the thatches, they saw snake after snake after snake. Like a snake farm. It was full of snakes. Snakes of different sizes, different thickness. They were horrified. They jumped down. They almost ran away. But then soon the people around came to know about it, that so many as 30 snakes, or perhaps more, began to come. You see, these people, Bhama and her son, these people had lived in that house for 30 years. And they had lived with these snakes behind. How did they live? That in itself is a huge grace. And now those people around, they wanted to kill those snakes because so many snakes. And of course, they finally removed them completely. But Bhama understood all this is because of the name, Nama chanting, that she took to. So ordinary household, justified desires, they don't have means to fulfill their wishes, and the Nama chanting happens, and soon after that, one benefit after another. Every demand, every requirement was met with by the grace of the Nama. And soon they finished the house construction and they happily shifted to the new one. Thanks to Bhagwan's powerful Nama, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. This is no small grace. See, even if you are a deeply meditative person, you have to live through the day. You have to eat when you feel hungry. You have to have some sleep. You have to have some place where you are not disturbed. So these are all basic requirements for life. So as there are needs, and if they are not available, naturally we are disturbed. And only chanting name helps us. Step after step, benefit after benefit. And again we shall shift to another scene. The devotees of Bhagwan, many of them know Shri Ramachandra Upadhyaya of Udupi. He is running a hotel here in Tiruvannamalai where Bhagwan used to go and have food. The proprietors of Udupi Hotel, they recognized the greatness of Bhagwan from the beginning, and they had permitted him to come and have food free. So they were close to each other. Bhagwan was fond of them. One day, Bhagwan not only takes care of his devotees, but the devotees' relatives as well. Ramachandra Upadhyaya got a call from their place, the village, from his brother, elder brother, saying that his daughter, the elder brother's daughter, Vidya, was admitted in the hospital. It was delivery time for her. But then she developed some complications all of a sudden and now was in critical condition. The doctors had said, there is no hope. There is every chance that she would die. So you can inform all your relatives. We would try, of course, but the chances are minimum. So inform your relatives. So panicked, Ramachandra Upadhyaya rushed to Sannidhi Street House. It was early morning, 5 o'clock. He went and knocked at the door, and Bhagwan opened, took him inside, sat with him, holding his hand in his grip. He went into silence. Ramachandra Upadhyaya was chanting his name silently and praying, and Yogiji, he went into deep meditation. After about 40-45 minutes, Bhagwan came out and said, Ramachandra, your niece is all right now. She has come out of danger. There is nothing to worry. So he patted him on his back, gave him some prasad, and sent him. But Ramachandra Upadhyaya was still in doubt. He had his own misgivings. What is it? Swami just sat with me and he says that she's all right. He could not believe that. So he rang up to his brother, only to be told by the brother that Vidya had come out of danger. Now the doctor says she is all right. The very words. Now Ramachandra Upadhyaya was wonderstruck. How did this happen? Of course he knew how the grace could work powerfully. After a month, he went there, he met Vidya, and then he was saying that, you see, our Swami Yogi Ramsuratkumar saved you. And that's why now you are alive. And Vidya went on to say how she was saved. Only she knew. She said about 5:30 in the morning, when she was struggling for her life, there was somebody who walked inside. He looked like a sadhu with a beard, white beard, an old man with a carelessly thrown turban. He came and sat by the side of her bed. And then he, with such tenderness on his face, he started to stroke her from head to foot. He did it a few times, and after that, he disappeared. He went away. She did not know who it was, but soon after that, she began to feel better. She was able to breathe well, and the body felt strong. And minutes later, when the doctor rushed there in panic, to his great surprise and delight, he found Vidya all right. Naturally, the doctor knew it was a miracle. He told Ramachandra Upadhyaya to that effect. He said, only divine grace has saved you. So again, in this scene, just think what Vidya would have gone through, the agony, her parents and the relatives. And suddenly Swami is there and Ramachandra is rushing to his place. All that Swami did was hold his hand. And then he turned up with a sentence, she is all right. He was sitting here in Tiruvannamala, Sannidhi Street House, and there Vidya became all right. Swami had gone in his subtle body to that place and gave life back to her. Yesterday we saw how Swami went to certain houses in his subtle body and kept up vigil the whole night just because the devotees requested him, prayed to him to look after the house. He literally looked after the houses. What a huge compassion. So let us appeal today's prayers to his abundant grace, to his boundless, enormous compassion. Bhagwan, thou art all-pervasive. Thou knowest everything. There is nothing thou cannot do. Please, Bhagwan, bestow a huge grace upon this entire humanity to be free from the clutches of this terrible virus. And please bring back normalcy in every aspect of life, everywhere. A normalcy based upon human values. We had all lived a different life. began to follow their own rules. They began to succumb to the dictates of their own mind, and they found philosophy, explanation, to justify the way they lived. So there was an imbalance in the world. This cosmic imbalance has to be adjusted. And that's why we find ourselves in the present situation. We find ourselves in this unprecedented state of suffering. Unless we are cleansed, unless the world is cleansed, unless some of those human values return to the society, there is no solution. This is what all the scriptures say. So Bhagwan, only you can save us from this situation. Please enter all those medicines announced by the medical researchers so that they would work and kill this virus instantly